Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do some phonics together. I thought we would begin by recapping the letter sounds that we've been learning so far. So the first letter sound that we learned together was this letter. Can you remember, can you tell me and the person at home, what sound does this letter make? That's right, it's a stretchy sound. We stretch S. And once more, S. Then we learnt this sound. Can you remember what sound this letter makes? It's a short bouncy sound. So we say ah, ah. This is the letter sound ah. And then we moved on and we learnt the letter sound. That's right, another bouncy sound. T, t, t. And the final sound that we have that we're looking at today is our new sound this week. It is this letter. What sound does this letter make? It's p, p, p. Another bouncy sound. It's quieter than our others. P, p. We bring our lips together and we open them as we push out the air. So these are the 4 letter sounds that we're going to be using for our lesson today. So we are going to play a game of bingo. So the first thing I'm going to do is put our letter sounds into our bag, give it a shake, jumble them up, and they're ready. Then you may have a bingo board at home. This is my bingo board. You might have drawn some pictures that begin with our letter sounds onto a piece of paper or a grid. You might have printed one of these off from our class page, or you could use objects. So if you've not got access to a printer and you've not got the pictures in front of you, it might be that you have some objects. So you could have a pear from your fruit bowl, a spoon from your cutlery drawer, and you could draw an arrow on a piece of paper. So you need 3 objects that begin with one of our letter sounds that we have learnt so far. Now I'm going to use a bingo board. Have you got your bingo board or objects ready? We're going to play a game of bingo. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we know what those pictures are or what those objects are, what their name is, what they're called. So if you help me with mine and then somebody at home, you could tell them what your pictures are. So what's the first picture on my bingo card? We find these in the bathroom or in the kitchen. And as we turn them on, the water runs out. It's a tap. So you say tap. And this one in the middle, this animal has pink flesh. It has a snout for a nose and a curly tail. And it says oink, oink. It's a pig. Pig. You say pig. And the final picture on our bingo card is a snake. That's right, a coiled body, it's coiled around, it's a snake. So those are the 3 pictures on my bingo board. You could pause the video now and make sure that you know the pictures that you have on your board and say them aloud so as you can start listening and hear with your ears the sounds at the beginning of those words. Next, I'm going to make sure I have 3 counters. Now, you might have counters at home, you might have a coin out of your purse or piggy bank. It might be that you've got a Lego brick that you're going to use. As long as you have something small that you can place on top, okay, when we hear the sound at the beginning of those words. So we're going to play together. So I'm going to draw a card from the bag. We're going to look at the sound together. Listen for that sound to see whether it is at the beginning of any of the pictures or objects that we have. If we have something that begins with this letter sound, we can place our counter on top. Once we've placed a counter on top of all 3, we shout bingo. And if you shout bingo first, then you have won your game. So we're going to play together. So I'm going to put our sound back into our bag, give it a shake, reach inside. Ooh, what letter sound do I have? What sound does this letter make? That's right. You say. Now, do we have the letter sound at the beginning of tap? Tap. So look at the shape of my mouth. Tap. Do I say pap? tap. It's not a pap, it's a tap. So we can't put a counter on the tap. How about this one? This is a snake. Snake. Again, look at the shape that my mouth makes as we say it, snake. We don't say pake. It's not a pake, it's a snake, not pake. So it can't go there. Have a look, you might have spotted something already on my board or your board that begins with a p sound. In the middle I have a pig, pig, and pig begins with p. So I can put a counter on my board. Again, you could pause the video, have a look at your pictures or objects, and if you have something that begins with p, you can put your counter on top or in front. Right, let's choose another letter sound. Ooh, this time we have this letter. What sound do we have? T, t, t. That's right, it's a bouncy sound. T. I wonder whether you have anything on your board that begins with the letter sound T. Now I'm going to take that off for a moment. Do we have snake? Does snake begin with a T? Is it a take? No, not a take, it's a snake. Snake. Snake begins with S. It's not take. Is it a tig? Tig? No, we know because we already placed our counter there. Pig begins with P. And the last picture that I have is a tap. So tap. Tap begins with T. That's right. So I'm going to put another counter on my bingo board. Oh, I only have one more left. We've got tap, tap, and I have pig, pig. So I have one picture. I wonder, do you have anything on your bingo board that begins with T? Again, you can pause the video, place your counter on or in front. Right, let's choose another letter sound. Oh, what letter is this? What sound does this letter make? Ah, ah. That's it, a big wide mouth as we make that sound. Ah, you try. Ah. It. Do we have anything on our board or do you have anything on your board that begins with A? Snake. No, if we look at the shape my mouth makes, we don't say ache. It's a snake. How about pig? Pig. It's not an ag, it's a pig. And tap. Tap. No. So we haven't got anything on my board that begins with A. I wonder if you at home have anything on your board or in front of you that begins with A. If you have, you can put a counter on or in front and then you can shout bingo. I haven't won. I can't say bingo. I'm still waiting. So I've got 2 counters. I need one more. Let's see what the final sound is in front of our bag. Not in front of our bag, sorry, inside our bag. Inside our bag. It's the letter sound. That's right. S, s. If you have anything on your bingo board or in front of you that begins with S, you can put your counter on the picture or in front of the object and then you can shout bingo. But perhaps you can help me check my bingo board. So we know that tap begins with T and pig begins with P. Snake. Do we think snake begins with S? Snake. Oh, it does. So I'm going to put my counter on and I'm going to shout bingo. I wonder if you shouted bingo before me. If so, well done. And we have filled our bingo board. So that was our bingo game. You can play that again at home. Or it might be that instead of playing bingo, you could then use your letter cards, your letter sound cards, to match. So just like we did before, it might be that you listen for the sound at the beginning and then match the letters to the pictures. Okay, and it might be that you have a different bingo board. So you might have a different bingo board like this one here. We haven't looked at this one before. This one has a tin, apple, pig. You say it with me. Tin, apple, pig. And instead of playing bingo, we could listen for the sound at the beginning of those words and place our letters underneath. So tin, t, t, tin begins with a t. So I would place t underneath. What sound can we hear for, whoops, what sound can we hear for apple? You say apple. Papple, no, sapple, apple. So we would match the sound. And then we have a choice of two for our pig. Pig. What sound can we hear for pig? Is it a p or a s? That's right. It's a p sound. So you could use your bingo board to match the letters at home. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our game of bingo. Let us know who wins at home. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye.